Hello and welcome to another episode of the Shara Made Podcast. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer, and a big hello if this is the very first time that you're joining me. Today I've got a few whips, a few FOs, and I've got a bit of a haul to show you from my trip to the Australian Sheep and Wool Show in Bendigo this past weekend. So I might get started with my whips. I've got one that I started literally minutes ago, so there's not much to see. It's going to be a little pair of fingerless mitts. It's a new design from me, and this is just the prototype, so I'm really just figuring out the pattern. There's really not much to see, but I'll show you anyway. So it's just the very beginnings of a cuff. Very small. I think I've got 6 rows on there, or 6 rounds. I'm working with this beautiful Milpost merino in a DK weight, and the colour is called apricot. That's a pretty good representation of the colour. It's gorgeous. And this yarn is some of the softest wool you will ever have the good fortune of squishing. It is so delicious. I wish you could reach through the screen right now and squish it because it is so lovely. They're just going to be a very simple pair of fingerless mitts, nothing elaborate, just with a simple all over broken rib pattern. And hopefully in the next episode I'll be able to show you. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably get to have a little bit of a sneak peek there before the next episode. But this is my first whip. I'm using a little 9-inch circular. They're great for doing small circumference things like this. Great for socks and sleeves as well. So that's what I've got so far on that. They don't have a name or anything yet. I literally started them less than 15 minutes ago. So there you go with that. My next whip, I think I may have talked about this in the previous episode. I was about to start doing a knit along with one of my patterns, my Arcturus pattern, and I think I'm the slowest person in the whole group of knit along people. Well, I should be able to catch up, I hope. So this is mine so far. It's a bit bunched up on the needles, but you get the idea. In fact, I might just pop my needle stoppers on the end because this combination of alpaca yarn that I'm using for the mane and these copper needles, very slippery. I have lost a lot of stitches, like they've just been jumping off the needles. It's not lovely to knit with while you're actually knitting with it. Not great as soon as you put it down or look away, or they just jump right off the end. But here we go. So this is what I've got happening so far. I'm almost up to the point where I can do the second lot of mosaic dots, and I'm really happy with the colours I chose. This yarn here is an heirloom 4-ply alpaca, so it's pure alpaca in the colour Havana, and this mosaic dot section is, let me see, I popped a little ball of it here somewhere, or did I? Oh yes, I did. It's Zilana Cowrie, this orange section. It's showing up a smidge darker on the screen than it is in real life. It's a little bit brighter. Is called Rata Red in the fingering weight Cowrie, which is a merino and possum blend. So it's quite beautiful. It's really soft. And it has a beautiful halo to it. Really lovely. And then the second contrast colour will be the Zilana Cowrie in the dark tepo, which is a black, as you can see. So I'm looking forward to starting those. So that's my second whip, and they are my only 2 whips, literally. So I don't have anything else on the go at the moment, just those 2 things, which is a miracle. only because I've finished everything else that I did have on the go. And since I last spoke to you, I finished a jumper that I had on the go, and then I started and finished another jumper, and I'm going to show you those now. So I think in my last episode I was partway through working on this one, which is the what is it called? Triamba Brastiana by Maya Akasrom, and I finished it. And so you can see there, and you may also be able to hear a little dog barking in the background. I've got my sister's dogs here and they're a bit excited about literally everything, so pardon me if you can hear a little dog yapping in the background. So I finished this one. Once I got the yoke finished, it went really quickly. I think last time I was talking about how deep the yoke was, and it's unusually deep. It's probably about that much too deep, and it's a little bit annoying when you wear it because it creates a bit of a poncho effect. You can see this depth on this yoke here is about exactly as deep as I like a yoke, because when you move your arms, you've got free movement of your arms, and it doesn't suck the body of the jumper up because you've got free movement of your arms. This one, however, because it has this abnormally deep yoke and it has that poncho effect, as soon as you move your arms, it sucks the body of the jumper up. So it does look lovely on, looks really nice on, this jumper does, but as soon as I move my arms, it sucks the body of the jumper up, and I spend the whole time while I'm wearing the jumper rearranging the jumper. It's really annoying. You can't wear a bag over your shoulder, you can't wear a backpack, which I do often, because then it all just gets bunched up here. And I was wearing a backpack with this the other day while I was at the Australian Sheep and Wool Show, and I spent the whole time trying to pull the sleeves back down and the body of the jumper back down, and it was pretty annoying. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to amend that, and whether I can maybe do something about, can I do some sort of surgery to this jumper to cut up there, steak it somehow, and like, I don't know, can I do that? I'm going to look into it because I love the jumper. It looks great as long as I'm standing still with my arms by my side and I'm not trying to do anything or carry anything practical or, exist in the jumper as a living being. So awesome jumper, just not very practical. A bit annoying in that respect. So fits nicely, all that sort of stuff, except if I want to move. So there you go, that's that. Then my next FO is one that I started and finished after speaking to you, and I'm not sure I even mentioned it because I don't know that I even really thought I would be able to get it started and finished before going to Bendigo. But I did have this idea that maybe I could, and I did. So it is this one. Hopefully you can see the detail. Yes, you can. Now the details are lost because it is black. Did I talk about it? Didn't I talk about it? I don't know. But this one here is the Oxa by Caitlin Hunter, and it is made using Galaxy from Bendigo Woolen Mills, which is a 50% bamboo, 50% wool. And you can see that bamboo sheen on the yarn there, and it has a lot of drape, and it's a very relaxed fabric, which also means that it stretches out and does not stretch back. It has a lot of stretch, no recoil, which is okay in some respects. It's been fine on the yoke because the yoke has a lot of these textured stitches that don't allow it to stretch a whole lot, which means it hasn't stretched out of shape on the yoke at all. But around the body and on the sleeves, it has grown significantly. And I'm thinking I might need to I'm wondering if maybe around the neck it has grown a lot, and it's a bit not gaping, but it's a very big neckline, and it's a little bit chilly. Like, you can't really wear it on a really cold day, especially if there's a breeze, because it's really chilly around the neck because the neckline is very low and big, simply because it started off quite a big neckline and it has stretched a lot because of my choice in yarn. And the body has also stretched out quite a bit. It was very fitted when I first made it, and within a few, maybe half an hour of wearing it, it had stretched out a lot. It's not coming back in. So I think what I might do is maybe put a round of crochet chain just inside the neck to give it a bit of stability and bring it in a little. And I think maybe I might thread some shirring elastic. Maybe. This is just my working plan at the moment, around the waist, just to bring it in and give it a bit of elasticity. I don't mind the body being a bit billowy and drapey. I just don't want the waistband also doing that. If the waistband can be drawn in and a bit more elastic, perfect. The sleeves, I don't mind what they do. They're fine. So, but I love it anyway. When I wore it on the weekend, which I did, I wore it quite a few days over the trip because I love it. It's really nice to wear. I just sort of tucked it into my jeans a bit. Otherwise, it was a bit sort of I don't know what that means, but you get it. And it looked fine. So, yeah, that's my Oxa that I knit in a very short amount of time. Yes, a very short amount of time. Probably one of my record fast knitted jumpers, actually. And I actually really enjoyed this knit. It was beautifully written. I really enjoyed it. And I did swap halfway between knitting the third size. I was partway down the yoke and decided I actually wanted to knit the second size, but I did not want to, because I decided it was going to be too big. The third size was going to be too big and I needed to knit a smaller size, but there was no way I was undoing it. So I just swapped to the smaller size on the yoke, and it was fine. It was really easy to do. So that is that finished garment. And I have got some other finished pieces in here. So these aren't from the weekend, but excuse me for crumpling a bag. But they are finished pieces that I don't believe I've shown you. So we will have a look here. I've got a series of hats here and they all go together. Now these are my Himalaya hats and they're very basic, really easy to knit. Sometimes you just want a straightforward, easy knit. Sometimes you just want a straightforward, easy beanie. You don't want something crazy and elaborate, you just want something straightforward. And these fit. They're nice and stretchy, they fit men and women. With the same hat, you don't have to knit 2 different sizes, they just fit everyone. And that is this hat here. Really easy. It's knit with 10 ply, but you could probably knit it with 8 ply as well. It has a nice decreasing on the crown. I'll put it on and show you what it looks like. There you go. You can see what it looks like there. You can roll up the brim. Oh, my hair's just going to get sucked up into it, but you get the idea. So you can roll up the brim if you like a shorter little hat too. That works. So this one is knit with a merino yak yarn. I believe it's just called merino yak. From London, I can't say it. I'll put it here. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. It is super soft and it's gorgeous to work with. I absolutely love it. The colour is not really showing up. This colour is called Marine and it's sort of like a dark teal. I don't know how to get that colour to show up properly on the screen, but it's beautiful. So that is the Himalaya hat, and I've got one more here, the Himalaya hat, and this one's knit in a recycled yarn, the name of which escapes me, of course, and you can see the crown detail there. Super simple. And then you've got the Himalaya twist. It's just a syncopated cable on it, and it's still got that same crown detailing decreases where the cables just move into the decreases there. Nice and easy. And the Himalaya XO. With a few really basic twisted stitches. And this pattern moves straight into the decreasing as well. Really stretchy. The rib pattern means it will fit lots of different sizes without having to do any unusual shaping. Nice and stretchy. Works well with any 10 ply or worsted weight yarn, but I think you could get away with using pretty much any DK weight yarn as well, to be honest, that has a lot of stretch and recoil in it, that pattern. So those patterns are available on Etsy and Ravelry. You can buy them individually or in a set, and yeah, so that's the Himalaya patterns. If you just want a nice, basic, easy, mindless knit, this is the one. And this pattern, just the regular Himalaya pattern, also comes in a 4-ply version, and that is really, really great if you want to use up sock yarn, or you want to make something with that awesome single skein of sock yarn, but you don't want to make socks. Use your sock yarn, your awesome sock yarns, to make a Himalaya beanie. I don't have the 4-ply one on me at the moment. What do I? No, I've made a few 4-ply ones, but they're on display somewhere. So yeah, the 4-ply version of this works excellently in sock yarn. So yeah, if you've got that groovy skein of sock yarn somewhere, yeah, it actually would take less than half a skein of sock yarn though, so you could make 2, or use up all your little bits and pieces of leftover sock yarn and make a really groovy one. So yeah, Himalaya. Also, some little drink. It's kombucha, not beer. I have the Norfolk hat, and you might remember I have a sock pattern with this detail on it. called the Norfolk Socks, funnily enough. So now you can make a matching hat if you so desire. And this uses the mosaic knitting technique, one of my favourite techniques. And the socks that match this pattern are knit in 4-ply or fingering weight or sock yarn, but this hat is knit in DK weight, so works up really quickly. And you just need 2 colours. You don't have to knit it in green, of course. Your trees can be whatever colour you like. So there you go. Got the Norfolk hat. And also the Yule hat as well. And you'll note that I also have a sock pattern that matches this hat, also called the Yule Socks. And this hat is made in DK weight yarn as well, or 8-ply yarn. And the socks that match this are made in 4-ply or fingering weight or sock yarn. And these work well, both these hats work well to use up little scraps or bits and pieces of yarn that you've got lying around too. And these patterns are both available on Ravelry and Etsy as well. So there you go. This one just uses regular colour work or stranded colour work, whereas this one's a little bit different and uses mosaic knitting here. So you've got 2 options for colour work knitting. So there you go. And I think that's it for my whips and FOs. So now I get to show you my haul from Bendigo. So this past weekend I went to the Australian Sheep and Wool Show in Bendigo, and it had been cancelled in 2020 and 2021, and it was finally on again in 2022, so we were all very excited to get back into it. I did go a little bit wild, but for pretty much everything I have a project, so I feel okay about it. I would have felt okay about it anyway, but I feel reasonably satisfied with adding these things to my stash. But anyway, this is not yarn, but it is still wool. I got these gorgeous socks. They're wool and they're made in Geelong, which is a suburb of my state. So that's pretty cool. Locally made gorgeous wool socks. And they are from Gumo. Really cool. They had lots of really gorgeous stuff. So I urge you to go and check them out. And they were really delightful people as well. So that was really lovely. Can't wait to wear these. So beautiful. I also got this other thing that is not yarn but is also wool, which is this piece of vintage wool fabric that I plan to make a little bag out of. So there you go, that as well. Then I got some yarn. It's all on the floor next to me here, so that's why I keep reaching down, apologies. I popped into the Bendigo woolen mills while I was there as well, and I picked up 2 balls of rustic in the forest colourway in the 4-ply, because for some crazy reason they have discontinued rustic, which is annoying because that's my favourite yarn that they make, but they've discontinued it. So I thought I would pick up 2 balls, enough to make a sweater in the 4-ply. So that was good. It's always fun to visit the mill, get into the back room and see all the unusual things that they don't actually have on their website, and it's just fun to visit the mill. So I got those. I don't know what jumper I'm going to make out of those yet, but I'll have a look and see. I've probably got something in my queue that I want to make. And then I visited the lovely Pirate Pearls, and I got 4 skeins of this gorgeous stuff, and it's called Mainstay, and it's 8 ply, and this colourway is called Tucked In Tight. And I think I'm going to make another Oxa by Caitlin Hunter with this one, and it is Corridale, 100% Corridale, and it's such a beautiful colour. Can't wait to wear that. That's a pretty good representation of the colour. So yeah, really happy about that. And I think this was one of the first things I bought, maybe the second thing I bought when I got to the show. Really happy with this. It took me a little while to choose a colour because every single colour of the Pirate Pearls yarn is delicious, and I wanted everything, but I thought, no, you control yourself, Shara. Yeah, so I got a sweater's worth to make the Oxa, maybe. And I also got some yarn from Dyed by Hand Yarns, and let me see if I can hold these up together, because I'm going to make the, I wonder if I can show you there. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm going to make the Amber O'Brien Moon Shawl. I don't know what it's actually called. I'll put the proper name here. And I first saw a picture of the Moon Shawl, and it was Dyed by Hand. I saw it on her website, and I was like, I have to make that immediately. And yeah, I think this was the first thing I got at the show. As soon as I walked in the gate, I went straight to Dyed by Hand, and I got this set so that I can make the shawl. So I'm very, very happy about that. Can't wait to start it. Really happy with that. It's going to look so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then I got this ball of self-striping sock yarn by Half Baked Hand Dyed. Really pretty. I love a self-striping sock yarn. Love it. Love it. And I'll use those to make socks for me. Can't wait. And I also got some gorgeous self-striping sock yarn from Colour Girl Collective, who was at the Yarn Trader stall, and this one's called Sienna. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Love it. And I'm going to make socks for someone special who's got a birthday coming up. They don't watch my podcast, so it's okay, they won't know. So they'll be getting socks out of that one. Really excited. Love these. So cool. And I also got this minis set. Oh my god. So gorgeous. From My Creative Garage. And I don't know if you can see, but it's sparkly. You can probably just see the plastic bags shining, but yeah, sparkly minis. Sorry about that crinkling. Sparkly minis from My Creative Garage. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this set. I've got a couple of ideas of what I might want to do with this, but I also might just keep it and look at it because it's so pretty. But yeah. So nice, love it. And what else did I get? Oh, maybe it's in this bag. So, a little bit more. I also got this Mohair, 100% fine Mohair 4-ply from Wagtail Yarns, who I believe are based in Queensland. Yes, Queensland. This colour is called Mushroom, and this is the silkiest, most delicious feeling yarn, and you can really see that sheen on there. It's like silk but lighter. I'm not sure how to describe it, but yeah, absolutely delicious. So it's non-brushed mohair. You know, mohair is usually quite fluffy. This is like smooth mohair. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it's still got a little bit of a halo, as you can see, but it's not super duper fluffy. Yeah, absolutely delicious. Cannot wait. And I think my plan for this one is I've got a beaded shawl in mind that I want to make with this very lightweight, lacy beaded shawl that I want to make with this. Big, elegant, fancy. Then I've got this weld yarn that is this gorgeous dusty pink colour. And I picked this up from the Pearl Box stand, and I'd seen it on their Instagram and I knew I absolutely had to get some. It is 70% US Merino, 30% US Corriedale, and it's got a little bit of a heathered kind of a look, so one of the yarns must have had a bit of coloured fleece in it. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I don't know where I can get, that's probably a pretty good representation of the colour. Gorgeous, really squishy and beautiful. And I plan to make a Himalaya light beanie out of this for myself. Love it, love it. And last but not least, I got these two yarns. So this one is Zigo Zago, and it's a mohair silk, and it is the colourway is called We Are All Stardust, and it's beautiful, really, really gorgeous. And this one is a king fibre one and singles, and it is called Salt Marsh. Also really beautiful. And these two together are going to become the Lakeside Shawl by Vanessa Kind. And I've made this pattern before, really enjoyable knit, really fantastic pattern, beautifully written, and super easy. Excellent results though, and I've made this pattern before, and I've got the shawl here. I've probably shown you before, but I'll show you again. Here is my one that I made earlier. And as you can see, you alternate between the solid yarn and the mohair, and it creates this beautiful sheer striping effect. And this has been one of my favourite pieces that I've ever knit, actually. It's probably one of my most worn pieces. I got the kit for this, so the yarns and the pattern, from my creative garage at the Australian Sheep and Wool Show in 2019, I believe, and I cast it on the night I got home from Bendigo because I was so excited about it, and I had it finished before the end of that week. I loved it that much, I couldn't put it down. I kept knitting it, and I was wearing it the following weekend, and I've literally not stopped wearing it. I wear it all winter long. I even wear it on cool evenings in summer sometimes because it's just beautiful. Besides the fact I love the colour to death. It's the softest, most delicious thing to wear. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. And you can wear it in various ways. It's light, but you can bunch it up if it's really cold. Like, it's just perfect. I can highly recommend this pattern. And if you've always wanted to try one of those beautiful, gorgeous hand-dyed skeins of mohair, but you just don't know what to do with it, especially if you've only got one, or sometimes they're a bit pricey and you can only afford one, but you don't know what to do with it, do this with it. It's not tricky. It's very achievable. The pattern is beautifully laid out and written, and it has all these check boxes. I can't show you because I might accidentally give away the pattern, but it has all these check boxes on it that I wish everyone did with their patterns. It's such a brilliant idea. I've seen it before in a few patterns, but this one is perfect, and I just love it. It was such an easy, gorgeous, beautiful pattern to make, and it is equally fabulous to wear. So if you've wanted to try making something with mohair but you just don't know what, do this with it. You won't regret it. Yeah, highly recommend it. So that's what I'm making with these two. Can't wait. Now I'm going to have 2 lakeside shawls to wear. And I think that's my entire haul from Bendigo. Yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with that effort. I think I did pretty well. I could have done a lot more, got a lot more, but I controlled myself. Yeah, I thought I better be a bit more reasonable, but I did take a lot of business cards and make quite a few notes in my phone about businesses to check out online. Yeah, I took a lot of notes. Yeah, I had a few patterns in mind that I wanted to make, and I got yarn for those, so yeah, I feel good about that. But yeah, that's what I got at Bendigo, and I love seeing other people's hauls when they go to yarn festivals, so hopefully you enjoyed that. But I think that's everything now. I hope the weather has been kind to you wherever you are. It's been frightfully chilly here today. It hasn't gotten above 8 degrees Celsius. It was very cold overnight, and I know it's the opposite to that in a lot of other places. I know a lot of my friends in the Northern Hemisphere are having some pretty serious heat waves at the moment, so please take care of each other and yourselves, and I will see you all again really soon. Okay, bye.